and welcome to the Hindu Discovery channel. God, these videos are getting more and more excited, especially regarding the Hindu wedding rites and rituals. We are on the ritual called Saptapadi. I'm right in the 7 steps. So could you explain what the 7 steps are and how significant they are?
Yes. So traditionally, it's the bride that moves away from her house, from her parents, and joins joins her husband,
Sure.
and joins the family. So the biggest sacrifice, the biggest changes is going to happen to the actual bride itself, because she's used to some customs, or used to some traditions, or used to some rules and regulations, way of life in her with her parents, and now it could be totally different. Potentially in her new life.
Yeah.
So the Saptapadi are guidance or steps or vows, in essence, which the bride is taking to ensure that she has essentially a smooth transition and settles into her new life.
Yes.
And that's the vows that she's given to her husband. So, for example, and the way this happens, I'll explain the way it happens and then
Sure.
what each one is then. So, the 7 steps or 7 vows are symbolized by 7 sopari, 7 bitunnets on the floor in a row. And then the husband will take the foot of his wife, and then the bride would place her toe on each of these. So as each of the vows is said, she will then put her toe on these. These vows can be recited by the Brahmin. Some Brahmin might just recite them in Sanskrit and explain them briefly. Or sometimes they even, on rare occasions I've seen it, that the bride herself will recite these. Sometimes it's done as a couple. Nowadays I've seen in the UK especially, the couple will recite in English, they'll say the vows together. But traditionally speaking and strictly speaking, Saptapadi is the vows of the bride, because it's her change. Yeah, it's her commitment. Because remember earlier when we talked about the Kanyadan Sankalpa, that's when the groom was taking his
hands over.
Yeah, so he's taken his responsibility, he's accepted it, and it comes later on as well. So I'll go into what each step symbolizes.
Yes.
So the first one is is a promise for them to stay together, for her to be happy when he's happy, to be sorrowful and be there for him when he's
it's almost like in sickness and in health, type of thing.
And exactly, and to stay together for life as well.
Yeah.
I'm doing all these in a nutshell. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. So step 2, she's saying that you will not have to worry about any member of your family. That whether how young they are, how old they are, I will look after them, and I will take care of them carefully and wholeheartedly. She's saying, and whatever you provide in the household, I'll make do with that, and make sure be happy regardless of what there is. So essentially not being too demanding, that's the key thing. And the third step, and the third vow, she's saying, you are my husband, you are my Ishwar. So remember, so the husband is given that status of you are my Ishwar, you're the God in essence. So I devote myself to you. Okay, and only you. I will not say anything to upset you.
Yeah.
And if you don't say, if one doesn't say anything to upset another, that's going to reciprocate.
Yeah, it's almost like vice versa.
It absolutely works both ways as well, and that's why that commitment is really important.
I think that's really important for all our viewers to understand and know. Yes, these vows are strictly for the bride. However, if we look at we've all gone through 3 of the vows. It is a exchange. It's almost like vice versa.
It has to work
treating
two
one
ways.
another the same, because there's a lot of emphasis. If we look at the ceremony, there's so much emphasis on equality. And if she treats her husband like the Pati Dev and God, he treats her like a goddess as well.
Naturally.
Yeah, I think that's really important to note as well.
And that's why it's like she's putting her toe on each of the obstacles, on each of the soparis. But who's doing it? He's there to support her.
Yes.
And that's why he's
think that's beautiful.
He's holding the foot, and that's why it has to work together.
Yeah.
So number 4, I will fulfill your desires, your requests. I will comfort you when you are not happy. So again, emphasizing that first vow as well, and share moments of share moments of happiness as well
Yeah.
with you. Number 5, then loyalty is very important. So she was saying, I'll be loyal to you on the 5th vow, and I will not have a relationship with any other man. Okay, so it's quite saying it quite
Hashtag
simply.
not young lady.
So it's making it quite clear that, you know,
Yeah.
you're my commitment.
And once again, vice versa.
Yes. Number 6, as time goes by, so saying that as time goes by, attraction can become less and less. We all go older, yeah. Our wrinkles start coming along. But she's saying, I will ensure that the bond of love will remain there always and fresh and pleasant. Okay, so she makes an effort, and equally he can make an effort as well. That whether it's makeup, whether it's dressing up, or whether it's fragrance, every now and again making that effort. So kind of making that, keeping the liveliness within the relationship.
Sure. Yeah.
And finally, number 7. So you have promised to me to be with me for life. That's the commitment that the groom's already taken. So she was saying, I will not be an obstacle in your goals of life, in dharma, artha, and kama. And in fact, I'll support you wholeheartedly and make sure we can work on these together.
That's
so
incredible.
remember we said earlier, dharma, artha, and kama. So in the moral duties, society duties, acquiring wealth, fulfilling desires, will stay together. So on the
moksha.
Well, on the moksha, that's where it could be separate. Anyone could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, going back to when we talked about the previous Agni Parikrama, I know it's often sometimes it's the groom that leads or the bride that leads. So I know that the final round is the moksha leading to moksha, isn't it?
Yes.
And quite often the bride is also taking lead in the last round.
Yeah. So I mentioned in the previous video that on the first one it's the bride, the first 3 the bride leave, and then the groom on the 4th. But in many other traditions as well, within Hindu tradition, it's the other way around. And I think we need to appreciate that there are these, different traditions throughout.
The sentiment remains the same.
Yeah, I mean,
essentially.
we were discussing earlier that even we've heard of Sattvera as well, and some traditions they actually go around the fire 7 times. So, but according to Vedic, it is 4 times.
Yeah, and finally the whole Saptapadi, I never get it out, the 7 steps, immediately reminds you of Goddess Sita. Because for me she really encapsulates all of everything that she did for Shri Ram, just through some of the stories that you read, especially like being there, you are God, all of them things. I think she's the most ideal in terms of how one should offer that Pativrata Bhakti, if you will.
It's funny you mentioned that, because when we were going through the vows yesterday, each of the explanations starts off with some sort of mention of a mata or ideal woman or a wife or a goddess. So it mentions Sita, mentions Savitri, mentions
Bhagavan, Balkrishna.
Yeah. So, but all those are
dimensions.
all the women are mentioned from our history, from our stories, our Purans.
So how special? I mean, I think this is an extremely special episode that we're especially the 7 steps, because it's so significant, so important. And once again, I'd like to reiterate that these 7 steps, like Harion quite rightly said, although the bride will put her toe on the 7 soparis, it's someone who is supporting her that is going to be her partner. It's a partnership of equal souls and equal patni, if you will. So
so the vows can't be achieved by the bride alone. It has to be done together, and it's the thought has to be one, the speech is one, and only then can they be united. So at the end of it, the husband should actually recites Mama Tava Vagbhyo Namaha, which means that our speech is one, our thought is one. So that's how the Saptapadi ends. Yeah.
Stunning. So, I mean, I have no more to say. I think this is possibly one of the most special and beautiful moment of the whole Hindu wedding rites and rituals. We'd love to know about your vows. How have you done your vows? You know, do you have, I know we mentioned some of you share the vows, and how have you just, you know, what do they actually mean to you? Would love to know in the comment section below. Do stay tuned as we have another very exciting episode coming up. Hi guys, I'm Nital Parak. If you like the video that you've just watched, do subscribe, share and like and comment on the section below.